Ever feel like you're doing this teaching thing alone? You don't have to be. Shared teaching is all about sharing the workload through the power of collaboration and teamwork. Together, we'll walk through all the difficult parts of teaching and learn how to streamline our processes, fine-tune our time management, and develop a more manageable workload. If that sounds like a dream come true to you, then welcome to the Shared Teaching Podcast. Let's share in the teaching to make those dreams a reality. Now here's today's Shared Teaching. Hello and welcome to another bonus Saturday Snapshot series episode where we go a little bit more in details into something I talked about on the Wednesday episodes. So on Wednesday we talked about launching writing workshop. And so today I'm going to talk about the beginning of the year writing lessons that you really want to have before you start launching. And before we get started, I would love to talk about a conference that's coming up. It is a free conference called the Summer Self-Care Conference. It's the third annual conference that they are having about this, and I'm very excited. I am a presenter, and I'm going to be talking about writing systems. So the 3 writing systems that you really want to have in place to have a smooth running classroom, at least in your writing block this school year. So I don't want you to miss out. The tickets are free. You can grab it now, or you can wait, but I suggest getting it now. And if you want to upgrade, you can get an all-access pass, which gives you a little bit longer access to the episodes or the sessions. And the conference is on the 21st, the 22nd, and the 23rd. So I will have that link in the show notes. So you want to go ahead and grab that. Don't miss out. Once again, it is a free conference to help you kind of renew and recharge yourself before school starts. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this Saturday's episode. So before you launch Writer's Workshop, there are some beginning of the year writing lessons you'll want to teach first. So why not just start your writing workshop right away? Well, you can, but I prefer to wait because students are learning all kinds of new procedures, and I kind of like to eke them out, you could say, a little bit at a time. I don't want to overwhelm my new students. So you could if you want to, but the very first thing I do is not a lesson, but it's a pre-assessment. And then once they've taken the pre-assessment, it gives me a few days to look through and kind of formulate the data that I need to create my writing lessons from there. So I kind of need a few days, which is why these few lessons are perfect because it gives me that time to kind of formulate, I guess, my mindset of what my writing is going to look like in the beginning of the school year. So when I give my class a pre-assessment, it's going to do 2 things. First, it's going to allow me to see exactly where their writing skills are. And secondly, it's going to be a time filler for me to start pulling students to do individual assessments, such as my phonics screener that my school district recommends I have to do every year. So, and where do you find time for those one-on-ones, right? The easiest thing is to have them do an independent activity. Writing is perfect. And then this is also a chance to see how quickly students finish. And then you can just give them a lot of time to color your picture or their picture so that they are working on that and you can go ahead and pull one-on-one. Okay, so the first few weeks or first couple of weeks, depending on your students, you are going to work on basic sentence writing lessons. At least this is what I do. I don't usually like teaching my writing lessons with prompts, but it's good for the very beginning of the school year. Most students will need reminders on how to write a basic sentence when school is just starting. And yes, this is even for second graders, especially for the second graders I had this school year. They needed all the reminders. The first few weeks of the school year are a great time to go over lesson expectations using simple paragraphs and writing prompts for those. Showing students a variety of paragraph structures will help them feel successful in writing. And I recommend doing only one new structure a week. And what I mean by paragraph structures is you want to teach them that not every sentence is going to start the same. You don't want a paragraph that says, I like, I like, I like, I like. These are the things I like. You want them to vary the beginning of their sentences. You might also want to teach them using some kind of sentence framework. And I'm sure you can find a lot of great ideas on Pinterest and just kind of find what works best for you. Next, you are going to want to teach the basics. And during these sentence writing weeks, I'm also teaching mini lessons about their sentence structure and how to use writing tools. And so some example writing mini lessons I might teach are, what is a sentence? Sentence punctuation, varying our sentence beginnings, like I just talked about, using the word wall or sound wall, whatever you use, stretching out our sounds. Each word has a vowel. I find that this is a really good lesson to give students to kind of check their spelling and check their work, because they might not have vowels in a lot of their words. And then I have to teach them that words like my, the Y is acting as a vowel. And words need capitals. So which words are going to need capitals? So those are just some example lessons I might teach at the beginning of the school year. So kind of some grammar, some sounding out, how are they going to be independent is the lessons I'm looking to create and give my students. Now, depending on the levels of my students, these lessons might need to be repeated later in the year during small groups or one-on-one writing conferences. If you want to learn more about planning your writing workshop mini lessons, you're going to want to head to my episode on 3 steps to planning your writer's workshop mini lessons, and that is going to be episode number 52. And I will have that linked in the show notes as well. So then after you have taught them what a sentence is and you've shown them some basics on spelling and just general sentence structure, you are going to want to begin teaching the writing process. So now this is when I'm going to officially launch my writer's workshop with my expectations and all of the components that's inside my writing workshop model. And for that, you can refer back to the last episode, which is episode 85, Launching Writer's Workshop. So I want to know, what do you teach for your beginning of the year writing lessons? I would love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and leave me a review and tell me all about it on this episode. Thanks for listening, and tune in next Wednesday for an all-new episode. Bye for now. If you've loved this show, then join me in sharing the teaching,
hitting that subscribe button,
and leaving us a review on
iTunes,
so we can be found by more teachers like you who are ready to start sharing the workload. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Find new episodes each week on sharedteaching.com. Thanks for listening to the Shared Teaching Podcast. Feel or